Arcadia, now loading on track 3 for Jacksonville, Savannah, Raleigh, Richmond, Washington, New York, and intermediate points. We wish you a very pleasant journey. All aboard.
Through these gates pass some of the most important people in the world. They are important because they are our customers. The goodwill and friendship of these people is one of our most valuable assets. We must transport these people with safety, and we must give them courteous and considerate treatment, because they are the ones who keep us in business. Many of our passenger customers are also freight customers, and all of them are potential users of our freight service. If they are pleased with our service when they ride our trains, they will be influenced to also let us handle their freight. On the other hand, a slight mistreatment of a guest on our passenger trains could result in a loss of passenger and freight business. Those who man our passenger trains are all salesmen of Seaboard service. Their daily contacts with our customers determine our success or failure. Dining car employees in particular are first-line salesmen of Seaboard service. Their ready smiles and helpful attitudes have become a trademark for them. Pleasing the public involves a lot more than service with a smile. Dining cars that cost in excess of $250,000 must be provided. Assignments and schedules must be changed for seasonal business. Menus must be planned. Food must be selected and purchased in large quantities. All of these duties and many more are the responsibility of Mr. C.G. Douglas, General Superintendent of Dining Cars. With the help of 2 of his assistants, Mr. C.V. Funke, Superintendent of Dining Cars, and Mr. W.F. Parker, Supervisor of Service, plans are being made to take care of the additional service that will be needed for the winter season. To keep diners supplied, stores have to be maintained at strategic locations. Storage space is at a premium on these cars. Here we see a rush order being filled at Jacksonville. In some instances, the customer demand causes the supply of certain items to run short, and the stock must be replenished on short notice and during train station time. Here we see I.G. Herring, Reuben Mortimer, and Joe Carter loading the supplies. Their work has to be performed quickly, but it must be done safely. Notice how the baskets are lifted. The back is kept straight, and the knees are bent. This simple precaution will ensure against a back injury. Cleanliness is the watchword in the handling of food. sterilized dishes are a must. After the dishes are washed in a detergent, then they are sterilized with steam and hot water. Chef Miles knows that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and you can bet your life that he will prepare a roast that will melt in your mouth. He also knows the dangers of a hot stove, hot food, and a sharp knife, particularly when the train is moving. He says attention to the work at hand is the best insurance against an injury. Chef Jones, who helped us with this pearl diving scene, asked us to remind you that use of the manual cutoff will ensure against burns, and that defective switches should be reported at once. While the first call is being made for lunch, Steward Burlingame sees to it that everything is in readiness, and then takes a last glance at the passing scenery. When time permits, he makes it a point to call interesting wayside scenery to the attention of the guest. It greatly adds to their enjoyment of their trip. E.L. Allen is an efficient waiter, and his genuine smile has made many friends for himself and the Seaboard. He's found another way to a man's heart. A smile, he says, has a soothing effect on he who gives and he who receives, making the trip more pleasant for everyone. Unexpected problems sometimes arise. But regardless of the kind of problem, waiter H.M. Blackwell knows how to take care of the situation. A little personal attention turns the trick. He believes that the way to a man's heart is through personal attention. There is no real substitute for good food and prompt service. But there are many other things that add to the enjoyment of a meal. A pleasant word, a little personal attention, and a smile. They are the things that convince our patrons that the Seaboard is truly the route of courteous service. An expression of appreciation for their patronage is always in order. This simple gesture will be long remembered. When the guests return to their cars, or stop for a while to enjoy the Sun Lounge car, they will reflect on the hospitality extended to them by Seaboard personnel, because courtesy generates and maintains a cordial and friendly relation between the customer and the company. When their trip is completed, they will tell their friends in glowing words of the many eventful happenings. It will be difficult for them to find words that will describe the splendor of some of the passing scenery. Surely they will never forget the indescribable beauty of trees dressed in their autumn finery against the background of a stately mountain. They will also remember the courteous and considerate treatment extended to them by such employees as waiter John Blair, Chef James Bellinger, and waiter Levon Avelier. The tasty meals will not be forgotten. They will remember and tell their friends not only about the food, but they will explain that the Seaboard always serves its guest with a generous portion of courtesy, service, and safety. The statement that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach is true. But on the Seaboard, we know of other ways. We know that we can reach a man's heart through courteous, considerate treatment and through personal attention. And also we know that by doing these things, we will make our work more pleasant and satisfying, and we will increase our opportunities for employment on the Seaboard.